Hey everybody, it's MommaOG. I am back with another reaction. Today I have another donation request from my friend Martian Granny. As always, Martian Granny, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Now, she asked me to listen to an Aurora song when I did The Conflict of the Mind a few weeks back. When it ended, a thumbnail of the song The Blade, the live version in Mexico City, popped up, and it caught my attention right away. So she asked me to do that version, but I have not heard the song. So I'm going to go ahead and do a double feature. I'm going to go ahead and listen to the studio version first. This is the visualizer video, and then I'll go ahead and listen to the live version from Mexico City. I'm super excited for this. It's kind of been stuck in my mind since I saw that thumbnail. Just to let you guys know, I'm recording upstairs. My dogs are running up and down from downstairs to upstairs. Mike is at work, so they bark when the wind blows sometimes. So, like if a big truck drives by, they might bark. So there's a fair to good chance that you're going to hear them barking at some point. I may even have to stop the video because of it. Before we get started, if you would like to request a reaction, you could click a donation link down in the description, send along the information of the song you'd like me to hear, and I will get it recorded as soon as possible. I also take notes during my reactions, so you will see me looking down here and there. I'm just writing down a couple of things so that I remember what I want to say when it's time to talk. I've got my earbuds in. I'm very excited for this. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Now, this is the studio version. Look at her bright red lips. Wow.
Innocent like a child, yet she sleeps with a knife right under her pillow, and the claws won't be near anymore. Paralyzed in denial, ever changing. Will she be the same? See her shame on the wall, on the cross in the night. Nobody remembers when she cries, scarlet skies on the floor. A million doors, corridors, ever changing. I still feel the rage. Watch out, watch what you say. Your truth becomes your grave. A sword can cut both ways, but I got sharp blades. All she knows when the world drags her so deep into the shadow, like a chain that chokes my throat when she cries. I hold a near hurting world overwhelming. I still feel her pain. Watch out, watch what you say. Your truth becomes your grave. A sword can cut both ways, but I got sharp blades.
That part is catching me, hooking me. Oh, goosebumps. But I have such a crappy camera, but I literally have goosebumps. I don't know why reactors always feel the need to document their goosebumps, but I always wondered that when I was watching reactions, and then here I am doing it too. So holy crap. I'm going to go ahead and look into the lyrics before I go on to the live version. I caught a lot of them, so that helped me get the mood of the song. That felt, energetically, it felt urgent and extremely emotionally charged. It felt like it was coming up from a place of like inner conflict, yet transformation. Some of the lyrics also added to that feeling. One of the biggest things I noticed about that song was the rhythm of it, and her vocal delivery was creating this momentum, almost like a pacing, almost like she was trying to outrun something. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it was this rhythmic forward momentum, as if she was almost running from something. It also gave me an incredible sense of vulnerability coupled with strength. It had a wounded yet powerful feeling to it. All these things at the same time. She created an amazing balance between two different emotions from different ends of the spectrum. Like I said, the part where she was doing the part, that became like a bass line for that rhythm and that momentum that I talked about earlier. The chorus, when it came on, it felt also very charged. It felt the moment where she would get up and start running, referencing that momentum or that feeling that she's trying to outpace something. That's where it became especially charged. And I noticed some like vocal layering in the chorus, which also added to it. At the very end, when she sang at the top of her lungs, "I feel the rage. I feel rage." I like to sing. I'm not very good at it. I'm not tone deaf or anything, but I sing a lot when I'm driving in the car. I'm one of those people that if you're sitting outside on a nice day on your porch and a car drives by, you're going to hear them singing at the top of their lungs. That's me. This, in that very moment at the end when she was singing at the top of her lungs about feeling rage, I just envisioned myself riding along in the car, just releasing emotions by singing that part. That was incredible, of course. Yet another song that I instantly love. I'm anticipating the live version, because even watching her perform this is going to just add so much more to how already awesome this song is. I just know this. I know this about her. My dogs are downstairs barking, as I thought they would be, so you might hear that a little bit. The last thing I want to say before I get into the lyrics is that it feels like a song that allows you to release either anger, frustration, stress, anxiety. It feels like a release, and it feels like instinctively that, before I look at the lyrics, that it's written about pain maybe and some not so nice things, but also there's a power in kind of surviving that stuff and outpacing it. But this song in and of itself feels like it's a release from some of that stuff, like an emotional, like an exhale. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lyrics. Again, I'm going to go with Genius here, just because that's what I always use. If anybody has any suggestions for better lyrics, I'm open to that. Just let me know. Fall into my arms like you trust me. I'll keep my blood-stained hands off your body. Like you trust me. Wow. Huh. I might have to come back to this after I read a little bit more, because it's giving me a certain feeling. Yeah, I'm going to read a little bit more of the lyrics, and then I'll go back to that. Innocent like a child, yet she sleeps with a knife right under her pillow. Dogs are barking. Of course, it's Rio. She's always the main one. There's probably a dog or something on the TV. Okay, innocent like a child, yet she sleeps with a knife right under her pillow. And the claws won't be near anymore. This song is full of conflicting or contradicting emotions. Innocent like a child, yet she sleeps with a knife right under her pillow. So that doesn't indicate that she's going to use that knife unless she needs to. So it's like a protection. I can't lie. There's been times when I've done the very same thing. And that bodes also to the next line, and the claws won't be near anymore. So she's protecting herself there. Paralyzed, in denial, ever changing. Will she be the same? See your shame on the wall, on the cross in the night. Nobody remembers when she cried scarlet skies on the floor. A million doors, corridors, ever changing. I still feel the rage. Okay, so the name of the song, of course, is called The Blade. There's a feeling of protection, needing protection, wanting protection, because something has happened that has got, or a multitude of things have happened that have got you absolutely paralyzed and scared. It's reminding me a little bit of, I've been talking a lot in the last few reactions that I've uploaded about my personal traumas and how they have manifested over the last 30 years into PTSD and anxiety. It's just bringing me back to that, of course. And there was a point in my experience where these things absolutely paralyzed me because I didn't know how to deal with them. And there was even a lot of anger. Like, I can completely personally relate to all of this. And like this intro that I said I would come back to, at the end of this first verse, it says, I still feel the rage. And even 30 years later, that's still the case when I let myself go there. But it's directed at the person that inflicted some of that trauma. But this first part, this intro, fall into my arms like you trust me, I'll keep my bloodstained hands off your body. That kind of feels geared towards somebody new in your life, but yet you're kind of putting up a wall. Like I've dealt with the rage, and that's where the bloodstained hands comes in. But yet I'm inviting you into my space, like you trust me, and I won't let my issues affect you, I guess is how it comes off. Chorus. Okay, this was the part that was like, really charged. Watch out. Watch what you say. Your truth becomes your grave. A sword can cut both ways, but I got sharp blades. Feel the rage. Yeah. This chorus is really amplified the fact that this is about anger. and getting that anger out. Like I said, a release. Ugh. Vertigo, all she knows. When the world drags her soul deep into the shadow, like a chain, it chokes my throat when she cries. I hold her near, hurting world, overwhelming. I still feel her pain. It feels a lot more personal and like about inner conflict because of some of these things maybe that have happened to her that she's very angry about. Watch out, watch what you say. The truth becomes your grave. A sword can cut both ways. But I got sharp blades, feel the rage. So she's kind of giving a warning here. Like, I've been through some shit. You better watch what you say to me because I've got experience dealing with stuff like this. And I have a sword with very sharp blades. If you wave your sword at me, mine's going to be sharper because I am feeling the rage. That's pretty crazy. It's kind of the first time I'm hearing sheer anger expressed from her. I'm trying to think of a way to say, like, I absolutely do not have a problem. The fact that she's expressing some anger and rage. I mean, and that I'm seeing this for the first time because we all feel it. And it's nice to know, too, that I can relate to her and we can all relate to her with feeling anger and rage sometimes. Okay, this bridge, I heard this at the very end. I didn't quite catch it here in the bridge, but soft hearts need protection, need protection. Soft hearts need protection, need protection. Feel the rage, feel the rage, feel the rage. Now, this line, soft hearts need protection. I've spoken also about the fact that I've become very good at like reading the room and reading people's moods. That's why I watch things physically very closely, watching people's physically and paying attention to how I'm feeling when I am around somebody or when I walk into a room tells me so much more than anything else. Because literally my body starts to feel things. And I think that leaves people like me vulnerable. It can take a toll on you when you are somebody who absorbs energy from other people and other things and places. I can go out in public, but it's pretty difficult sometimes. Funerals are impossible for me. I have had to go. But it's just the most overwhelming example of having to be out in public around a lot of people is a funeral that just pops into my head. So the fact that I can feel what everybody's feeling around me, even when I go to the grocery store, this happens. I will go out in public, but the less people around me, the better. But I do know that before I do those things, before I put myself in situations in strange places around people that I don't know, I have to kind of mentally prepare myself, and that is a form of protection. I have like mantras that I go through in my mind, and if I don't do that stuff, it could just wreak havoc on me emotionally and physically, especially on my anxiety. So this absolutely also can relate that soft hearts need protection. The soft hearts describe people like Aurora, people like many of you, people like me, who don't really have hate. We're connected to nature. We're empathetic, probably more than many other people. We feel things intensely. And just like what I just described, people who are that way absolutely need to protect themselves. Soft hearts also feel the anger and the rage. And I can relate to that too. These days, when I get mad about something, it doesn't last very long because I've learned that rage and anger don't benefit me. at all. They don't help the situation. They're not going to fix anything. All they're going to do is keep me in a state of mind that I don't need to be in. That's not healthy for me. But it is nice every once in a while to feel those feelings, get them out, process them, and let them go. Okay, so this is the part at the end where I could picture myself driving in the car singing at the top of my lungs. Rage, I feel rage. Watch out what you say. A sword can cut both ways, but I've got sharp blades. And she's saying, I feel the rage in between this. And then closes with the soft hearts need protection. I still have a whole nother video to get to, and I'm, as usual, talking my head off. Let's go ahead and move on to the live version taken from Aurora's What Happened to the Earth live in Mexico City concert film, recorded on 2 November 2024. Yeah, that was a film I did not get the opportunity to go out and see, unfortunately, but I'm hoping that at some point maybe I can watch it online. It looks like there's another performance here from Mexico City that I'm sure was in that film, Runaway. Maybe they're just releasing bits and pieces of it. Okay, so this is Aurora, the Blade, live from Mexico City. Let's go ahead and take a listen. It's that humming, that
This is a song to every victim of violence. And if you know rage, this song is for you.
Wow. That first note, holy crap. Okay, so this is an example as to why, I take lyrics with a dump truck of salt, because Genius says something completely different. I'll keep my bloodstained hands off your body. See, and she said, you keep your bloodstained hands off. See, and this is what, it's frustrating. Let me just rewind that and listen to that again. That completely changes that whole verse. And I don't know if she changed it for this performance. Yeah, because here it says, I'll keep my... Let's see what this says. Yeah, in most of these lyrics, it's depicted as if she says she'll keep her bloodstained hands off. But it's even more powerful with her saying... but keep your bloodstained hands off my body. I can relate to that phrasing even more. Yeah, okay, I'm so sorry. Let's rewind it where she starts singing again. That first note, my God. That visual behind her, too.
Innocent like a child, yet she sleeps with a knife right under her pillow, and the claws won't be near anymore. Paralyzed in denial, ever changing. Will she be the same? See a shame on the wall, on the night in the night. Nobody remembers when she cries scarlet skies on the floor. A million doors, corridors, ever changing. I still feel her rain. Watch out, watch what you say. Your truth becomes your brain. A sword can cut both ways, but I got sharp blades. Feel the rain. When the world drags us so deep into the shadows, like a chain chokes my throat when she cries. A hole in a hurting world overwhelming. I still feel her pain. Watch out, watch what you say. Your truth becomes your brain. A sword can cut both ways, but I got sharp blades.
Fighting the urge to cry again.
Soft arms need protection, need protection. Soft arms need protection, need protection.
Oh, God. So weird seeing my own thumbnails. That's so weird. Oh, man, that was, that was incredibly more intense and emotionally charged. Of course, watching her absolutely adds to that. Again, there was this driving momentum with the melody and her vocal delivery, as if she was trying to outrun the rage, the pain, yet she was still being vulnerable in expressing her anger. But there was a power in the way that she was doing it, with this momentum and this feeling of, you know, I'm staying ahead of this. Again, when I went through the lyrics, I felt here too, she's basically saying, listen, I have been through some shit. And the change in the intro lyrics kind of just makes me think that she's talking directly to whoever it is that hurt her. Just keep your blood-stained hands off of me. And then the chorus, it's like, you better watch what you say. You can bring out your sword as you do. My blade is sharper because I'm sick of your shit, basically. The urgency, I felt that completely in that performance as well. The live version amplified the rawness of the song for me. And also, like, the whole song, with everything I've already said about it, it depicts a transformation, mentioning the innocent child, and then all of the other parts that are more like, you know, watch your mouth and my blade is sharper. That speaks to a survival And, I always talk about like trauma that you've been through. The hardest part, it sucks to go through it in the moment, but the harder part of it is surviving it. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes, I feel like I'm still in the process of surviving my 30-year-old trauma sometimes, but there's also an empowerment in doing that because it builds you as a person, and it adds things to you that you need in life that you didn't have before this trauma. It gives you strength, and it makes you more adaptable to whatever may come. Having gone through some really shitty situations has completely made me a whole different person. I've evolved over the years, even from what that trauma has done to me. I'm still struggling with the PTSD end of it. It's giving me anxiety, and my ADHD plays into that. And then my empath side of me plays into all of this. And not to mention age-related crap that I'm going through. Put all this stuff in a bowl, and I feel like I'm still surviving it, but I am a different version of myself. And yeah. I've been talking so much lately about my personal struggles. I feel like a broken record at this point, but I do realize that different people watch different reactions. So some of you have heard all this already, probably many times. But I have talked about it on other artists and different types of music lately. So Ren and Radiohead. It's just crazy. Like I did Caskets by Ren, and one of the things I said is that, I never imagined talking about this kind of stuff basically to the world. Like, I never imagined divulging this personal information. This stuff is like the meat and potatoes to who I am. Like it's deep inside of me, and it's never going to go away. But, it's just not something that I talk about in general in life. When music can bring me the opportunity to vent and to express myself and to kind of talk a little bit about the version of me that's on the inside that I don't show in general, it's incredibly cathartic. Yeah, that song was it's a powerful feeling too, and a very empowering feeling to fight emotional chaos for such a very long time while trying to stay connected to yourself and the people around you. And being exposed to music that reminds me of that is just, I can't tell you what it's done for my life in the last 2 years. Again, I don't talk about these things. In fact, I do my best not to, because a lot of times people around me don't understand it. I don't know. They can't relate to the products of the trauma that I've been through and what it's done to me biologically. It's really comforting to have a platform, if you will, to be able to express some of this stuff sometimes, and to people who undoubtedly understand it. Even going to therapy is not quite this cathartic, because, the person that you're talking to, in particular, my therapist, she's very good. Like, she's very good at listening. She's professionally trained therapist, of course. So it's her job to listen to people like me, but I don't know if she truly understands a lot of what I talk about. This is a unique way that I get to actually see that other people feel similarly, that other people go through things like this, relate to people, and connect with people who are watching me talk about this stuff, who also go through similar things. It's just, I almost want to say you can't find this anywhere else. You can't find these kind of connections anywhere else. When you go out into the real world and you meet people, you don't sit there and talk about this stuff for a while. If you develop a relationship with somebody, this stuff is down the road, if at all. And Aurora has played a huge role in my life in the last 2 years since I've been reacting to her to kind of help me feel a little less lonely. You know, I am me, and I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not, but there are things within me that I withhold around certain people, or just in general in real life. But there are very real things going on deep inside of me that, you know, I don't bring to the surface in real life or, you know, in my environment. So it can be a lonely place. And this provides me, I don't know, I'm saying the same thing 10 different ways, but I think I've made my point clear. This is, you know, this whole reaction journey means a lot to me. It's not just getting online and hoping to make money. You know, that stuff's not the reason I started doing this. The journey is incredibly meaningful to me. Music is incredibly meaningful to me. I actually really love seeing this side of her, this angry, I'm going to punch you in the face, don't talk to me that way side of Aurora. It's also very cathartic because this is yet another way that I can relate to her amongst many others. So, here I go again. Thank you, Martian Granny, for giving me the opportunity to hear this song probably much sooner than I would have on my own. I really appreciate that. Thank you all so much for sharing this with me, and I will see you on the next one. Huck, are you excited that Daddy's home?